So, good morning, everyone. So, I am Samuel Sedan, and I am the reporter of General Systems Theory. So, this is our table of contents or our preferences within this report. So, number one, what is General System Theory? Number two, what is open and closed system? Number three, who is Carl von Ludwig Bertalanffy? And number four, what are the examples of general system theory in our daily lives? So first, let me show you what is system. And um, pag balik tanaw muna tayo dito bago tayo pumunta sa general system theory. So what is system? A system is a group of components or subsystems that integrate and function together in order to achieve a specific goal. So this the examples of a system would be PC. So there are motherboard, processor, RAM, the GPU, and the power supply. So in it integrated as a whole to achieve a specific goal. So that would be the example of system. So a system surrounded and influenced by its environment is described by its boundaries, structure, and purpose and is expressed in its functioning. Systems are the subjects of study of systems theory and other system sciences. So the general system theory suggests that a number of fundamental organizing principles are shared by complex systems. Regardless of their objectives, they all share these values. General system theory claims that these concepts can be mathematically modeled. So, to put simply, or in other words, general system theory is focusing on the system structure rather on what they do. So, ang general system theory daw ay nakafocus lang sa struktura, sa placement, instead sa galaw, sa function, or sa action ng parts or ng system. Like, dito sa PC, nakafocus lang ang general system theory sa kanilang placement ng motherboard, ng power supply, ng what do you call this? Ng GPU, ng RAM, ng processor, ng stock fan and chassis fan kesa sa nakafocus sila sa kanilang function na like papaganahin nila tong PC na to para makapag-display sa monitor. So, excuse. So, general systems theory emphasizes that entire entity rather than reducing an entity to the characteristics of its constituent components or constituents. In other words, it emphasizes the connections and arrangements among the components that make up the total. So we can see in this picture, so example ng general system theory is the human life. So example, input is food and oxygen. Output is the carbon dioxide, the urine, and the waste. The environment is where we live. So makikita natin sa baba, we have, what do you call this? The parang map, parang guide, ganun. So we have the input, the throughput or the process or the system, then output. Sa baba nito, may boundary and environment. So a theory that proposes that complex systems share some basic organizing principles regardless of their purposes. So most systems follow the same principles as those for human life. In virtually every system, there is the environment, input, output, throughput, and a boundary. Excuse. So here, what is open and closed system? So first, the open system. So open system, um, and the other term is the flow system, is a system that interacts with the outside world is an open system. So ito ay parang malaya. Interacting with the open system is, for example nito ay ang South Korea. So sila ay nakakapag-interact sa iba't ibang bansa. So, depending on the field that defines the term, these interactions can involve the transfer of information, energy, or materials into or out of the system border. An isolated system which does not exchange energy, matter, or information with its surroundings is construct in, contrasted with an open system. A flow system is another name for an open system. So ayun nga, open or flow system is parang malaya silang nakikipag-exchange ng information or data at malayang nakapag-exchange ng matter outside its border. So we have two types of feedback that open system in control mechanism. So in open systems control mechanism, we have two types to make it into action, the positive and the negative feedback. So the positive feedback, an enhancement or amplification of an effect, and the negative feedback is the diminution or counteraction of an effect. So example of open system is the digestive system of one person. So in humans, they exchange both matter and energy with an outside system. So outside of digestive system, nakapag-change sila ng matter and energy which reduce into our kinetic energy. So for example, we take in food as our input, digest it in digestive system as our throughput or our process or system, and give it of the race as an output. So this interaction and exchange makes human be an example of open system. So makikita naman natin dito sa open system ay may input which is our food, the process or the throughput which is the digesting, and the throughput is the waste. So, and malaya din sila nakakapag-exchange with outside the digestive system. So that is both matter and energy. So another example would be the stove top. So the heat and water vapor can be lost to the air. So dito, nakapag-exchange to ng heat and water vapor and pwedeng malos to the air kasi nga malaya. Tama, malaya. Malaya sila nakakapag-exchange ng matter dito sa open system. So, closed system. Unlike open system is malaya and may input. So, closed system naman ay wala. So, closed systems are insensitive to environmental deviations, whereas open systems are responsive to changes in the environment. Only the exchange of energy is allowed, but the exchange of matter is not allowed. So, ito nga, pinagkaiba ng open and closed system. Sa open ay, pwede sila mag-exchange ng matter freely, malaya. Sa closed system naman ay hindi. Only the energy can be exchanged, but the matter isn't. So, example nito ay, when we boil water with a closed lid, nakasara, the heat can exchange but matter cannot. Yun nga. So, hindi sila malayang nakakapag-exchange ng matter. Pag tinakip mo yung lid ng tawag dito, kawali or something like that. So, pag close mo yung lid, the heat and the water vapor cannot be freely exchanged kasi nga naka-close yung lid. Only the energy, the heat lang sa loob ng pinapakaluang tubig. So, excuse. So, who is Carl von Ludwig Bertalanffy? So, he born in 1901 in 1972. So, he is an Austrian biologist, was one of the early founders of general systems theory. So, systems theory was proposed in the 1940s by the biologist Ludwig von Bertalanffy himself and furthered by Ross Ashby in 1964. So, Bertalanffy was reacting against both reductionism and attempting to revive the unity of science. He is considered to be the founder and principal author of general systems theory. So according to himself, in 1968, a system is a collection of interconnected elements that is both open to and engage with its surroundings. Additionally, they are always evolving since emergence allowed them to gain qualitatively new traits. Systems are typically said to us being self-regulating when they provide feedback to themselves to fix errors. So yun nga, malaya sila nakakapag-evolve since may emergence sila to gain qualitatively research or data or new traits na makapag-evolve na makapag-change kung ano pwedeng i-evolve or what do you call this, i-improve sa system. So, magi magiging self-regulating din ang system when nagpo-provide ito ng feedback para ma-fix yung errors. So, example of general system theory in our daily lives. So, one of the examples is this cake. So, if you were to lay out all the ingredients of a cake, you would not have a cake. Instead, ingredients lang. So, pag nilayout mo lang, pag prepare mo lang lahat ng ingredients, nandyan lang yan. Hindi ka magkakaroon ng cake kusa-kusa. Yun ang target ng general systems theory. Um, nakabase lang sila sa layout or sa structure or surroundings instead sa kanilang function na makapagpagana sa kanila. So, here is our quiz na isasend ko later sa professor and then sasagutan nyo to sa LMS. Thank you.